You know how it is, everyone's talking about making money fast online, and crypto always seems to be right in the middle of that buzz. We see these wild stories, but when you actually dig in, there's so many different ways people are trying things, and honestly, some carry huge risks.
Absolutely. And today we're diving into one of those, well, let's say higher stakes areas. You found this YouTube video, didn't you?
Hmm.
How to launch a meme coin and make $1 in 2025. Secret method.
Yeah, by a creator called Mr. Wi-Fi Money. And right off the bat, we need to be clear how it's framed. It says it's educational, a walkthrough, definitely not financial advice.
Which is crucial in crypto. Results are never guaranteed, often quite the opposite.
Exactly. But what grabbed me was the claim, this crazy strategy they supposedly found, potential for like 2x or 3x returns in minutes. And it's not just about trading
It's
coins.
about making them.
Precisely. So that's our mission for this deep dive. Let's unpack the steps this video lays out for actually creating and launching your own meme coin. It gives us a peek into a very specific, and like we said, probably very risky part of the crypto world.
Okay, so let's get into it. The whole premise is shifting gears, right?
Yeah.
Stop trading meme coins, start creating them.
Yeah, and interestingly, they kind of dismiss Pump.Fun, which many people associate with new launches. They call using it a rookie mistake because it's just flooded with new tokens constantly.
So where do they point instead?
Radium, that's their preferred platform.
Ah, Radium. And their reasoning is interesting. They suggest Radium has like a higher barrier to entry.
Supposedly, yeah,
Yeah.
because it often requires some coding knowledge, or at least that's the perception. So the idea is maybe fewer super low effort projects land there.
Implying maybe a slightly better chance of getting noticed, perhaps, at least in theory.
But, and this is where it gets really juicy, that coding barrier. The video says maybe it's not a barrier anymore.
Also,
They introduced this website, launchtool.io. They literally call it the golden ticket.
a golden ticket, huh? So what does it do?
It supposedly lets anyone launch their own token on Radium without knowing any code. Just clicks. Bypasses the whole technical side, according to them.
Wow, okay, that definitely raises some questions about making asset creation that easy.
Yeah.
But let's stick to the video's process for now. What's the first actual step they show?
Right. Step one, create a logo. And they really stress making it trendy, something that might go viral.
Like a meme.
Exactly. The example uses a TF2 meme the presenter found funny. They even give specs, 128 by 128 pixels. Get that ready? Download it.
Okay, logo done. Then back to Launch Tool.
Yep. Next is connecting your crypto wallet to Launchtool. Pretty standard stuff if you've used decentralized apps, granting permission.
Mm-hmm. Standard Web3 interaction. What's next?
Then you fill in the token details. This is where they named their example Derp Scout, symbol Scout. They say make the description witty, match the theme.
Grab attention?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Though their example was pretty basic, honestly, and you upload your logo file here too.
Okay, so name, symbol, description, logo. Then what? Tokenomics.
Ah, yes, tokenomics. But the advice here was surprising.
How so?
Just leave the defaults. They clicked right through it, didn't touch anything.
Really? Just skipped over tokenomics.
Yeah.
That's usually pretty fundamental. Things like total supply, distribution, that stuff really matters for a project's potential.
I thought so too. But nope, defaults all the way in the video. Then there were optional fields, creator info, website link.
Let me guess, skipped.
Skipped. Called the point one Solana cost a cash grab for info nobody cares about. Same for connecting social media accounts.
Wow, so no website, no socials.
Uh.
What was the rationale for skipping socials?
They claimed their track record proves you don't need social media to make a coin pop. Confident, you could say.
Okay, so speed and maybe anonymity seem key here. What about security? That's got to be important.
Yes. They actually call the next part the most consequential security decisions. This was critical in the video.
All right, what are they?
Three main things: revoke freeze authority, revoke mint capability, and revoke update.
Okay, let's break those down. Revoke freeze authority.
That means transactions can't just be frozen or reversed arbitrarily once they're on the blockchain. Your funds can't be locked up by the creator.
Yeah.
Core decentralization idea, right?
Right. Essential for trust. And revoke mint.
Prevents creating more tokens out of thin air after the launch. So the supply is fixed, no sudden dilution that tanks the value for everyone else. Keeps it scarce.
Another big one, prevents rug pulls related to infinite supply. And the last one, revoke update.
That locks the smart contract's main functions permanently. The basic rules can't be changed later after people have bought in, offers predictability.
So freeze, mint, update. The video stressed these are like baseline requirements for legitimacy.
Absolutely. They said savvy crypto folks look for these and avoid projects without them. It's presented as passing a fundamental trust test.
Okay, so you set those security options.
Yeah.
Then what? Hit launch.
Pretty much. You confirm those settings, approve the final transaction in your wallet via Launchtool, and boom, the token is created on the Solana blockchain.
And they showed checking it on SolScan, the blockchain explorer.
Yep, SolScan, like a public receipt proving it exists, showing all the details transparently.
Got it. So the token exists, but you can't trade it yet, right? Needs liquidity.
Exactly. That's the next major phase, creating the liquidity pool. They switch over to Radium's platform for this.
Connect the wallet again, I assume.
Yes, connect wallet on Radium. Then you have to manually import the token you just made using its contract address from Launchtool. Find Scout or Derp Scout in their example.
Okay, imported. Now, setting up the pool itself, how much supply did they put in?
They recommended putting in most of the supply, like 900 million out of the 1 billion total tokens they created.
And pairing it with?
Solana, SOL. They called it the undisputed standard on Solana for pairing. So the pool holds both the new meme coin and SOL.
Right, that allows people to swap between them easily. The pool provides the liquidity. The more in the pool, the easier the trading.
And here's another interesting bit. They advised putting in a decent chunk of your own Solana, like 1 or 2 SOL.
Skin in the game.
Exactly, to build trust right away.
Yeah.
Show you're invested too, but keep maybe 0.2 SOL aside for transaction fees, the gas.
Sensible advice there, actually.
Yeah.
What about fee tiers for the pool?
They mentioned usually picking 2%, but suggested 0.5% is also fine. That's the fee traders pay, which goes partly to liquidity providers like yourself.
Okay, and then you just initialize the pool. Final confirmation.
Yep, hit initialize, confirm the transaction in the wallet again, and according to the video, the coin is now live and tradable.
And they claimed it pops up on Photon's trending list almost immediately.
Yeah, prime real estate, they called it, for getting eyes on it fast from traders hunting new coins. Of course, how long it stays trending, that's another question.
True. So coins live, maybe trending. How do they track performance?
They showed using a tool called OpenDex Screener. You swap the contract address in the URL with your new token's address.
And that gives you price liquidity data.
Obviously, yeah. Live chart analytics. They stressed watching the liquidity level, closely called it the objective exit signal.
Interesting. And watch real volume, not just bot activity.
Right. They also showed checking their Radium portfolio to see their position in the pool, mentioning it might take a few minutes to update after launch.
Okay, so they track it. Then the video presumably shows taking profit.
It does. It fast forwards a bit, shows some reported buys, market cap increase, liquidity growth, then demonstrates removing their liquidity from the Radium pool.
How's that work? Just withdraw.
Basically. Go to portfolio, find your liquidity pool position, hit withdraw.
The key is how much Solana they get back, right?
That's what they focused on, yeah.
Yeah.
The SOL equivalent value represents the profit. They showed executing the withdrawal, confirming, and the claimed profit appearing back in their wallet.
All sounds very quick in the video example.
Extremely quick. But again, we have to stress the disclaimer in the video itself.
Right. Educational purposes only, not financial advice.
And the presenter even says, nobody knows for how long this method will keep working. It feels very much like a strategy based on getting in super, super early. Highly time sensitive and probably risky.
Absolutely. These things can change in an instant. And just to reiterate for our listeners, if any of this touches on, charged topics, sometimes associated with crypto or memes, we're neutral here, just reporting what's in the source video.
Exactly. We're not endorsing the viewpoints, just analyzing the content presented.
Okay, so wrapping this up, we've walked through this whole meme coin launch process as laid out by Mr. Wi-Fi Money, using Launchtool to create the token on Solana, Radium to provide liquidity.
From logo design and security settings, right through to adding liquidity and the demo of taking profits out.
And for you listening, I think the takeaway is, well, yes, the video presents a seemingly simple path to maybe quick gains.
Yeah.
But it also shows the plumbing underneath, doesn't it?
It really does. You see the tech. Blockchain explorers, decentralized exchanges, these security toggles like revoking mint or freeze. It highlights how focused this strategy is on pure speed and catching that initial tiny wave.
But let's be real. For every potential win like the one implied, there are likely countless others that just vanish instantly, leaving people holding worthless tokens.
For sure. Which leads to maybe a bigger thought to chew on.
Yeah.
As tools like this, like Launchtool, make creating financial assets almost trivially easy. What does that really mean? for finance, for markets.
And what does trust even signify in this decentralized space where security often comes down to checking boxes that the creator themselves implemented and the audit is just the market reacting?
Right. It pushes you to think beyond just this one video's claims about quick flips. What are the long-term implications, the real risks, and the sustainability of strategies built purely on speed and exploiting these very, very early moments? Something to definitely think about.